How are you today? So it's Sunday today. We just finished church. Our church goes from 10 to 12 on Zoom. If you like the Zoom number, just ask. Anyway, I'll start with a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for blessing us that we have a day where we can relax. Thank you for blessing us with this beautiful sunshine or the beautiful winter weather. Here in Ontario, it's getting milder, and we're very grateful for that. We're grateful for the changes every day. And those of us who are in pain, we'd like to ask that we might find ways to think about thee in spite of the pain, and that we might make good choices with the things that we do and eat, that we might be able to eliminate a lot of our pain. And thank you so much for all the things that thou hast given us, and the inspiration, the ideas that we get. And we're grateful for the connection that we have with one another, and indeed with the whole world. We're grateful for our families and our parents and our children, whatever we may have, and we're all in different positions in our lives at the moment. We're grateful that we are thy children and that we are of eternal worth to thee. Please help us to remember our worth is great in the sight of God. Thank you for blessing us with this knowledge. And we're so grateful that we have a Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother, and that everyone on earth are our brothers and sisters. And we're grateful that we have been given the gift of the Holy Ghost, that we might have thy Spirit to be with us. We're grateful for the laying on of hands for blessings that we seek. And we are grateful that thou dost teach us how to move the mountains in our life with faith. Please bless us that our faith, that we don't have to have trials to strengthen our faith, but we can have the memories of those trials that will strengthen our faith. And bless us as we endure the trials that are in our paths at the moment, that we will have hope and know that the trials last only for a certain time. And bless us that we might remember the tools that we have gained from the other trials that we've had, that we might be able to develop godly characteristics and become more like thee and our beloved Savior, Jesus Christ. And these things we pray in his name. Amen. Oh, good morning. There's 2 people here. Nice to see you. So it's a Sunday morning, and hi Ellen. Sorry I haven't been on yet. Oh, I was going to tell Rose and Susan when I go on. How is Susan this morning? She's been in bad shape. This COVID thing is nothing to take lightly, is it? But I'm so grateful that so many of us have been vaccinated, and so when we do get it, we get a very mild case. It does not mean that all COVID is a mild case, which some are prone to think. Oh, I had COVID and it wasn't bad. Thank you for, I'm grateful that we have this Omicron instead of Epsilon or some other name, which is for a terrible one. Maybe we will have some more immunity, at least for a while. Those who have had the viruses and those who have had the vaccines. And so I stayed in bed very late. And then good morning, Lois. I was just looking at a comment from you yesterday from many years ago. It's really cool to go through all the comments and see what everyone has said over the years. There was many comments I never read. I certainly didn't answer them. There's a ton of them. I'm only back to 6 years ago now. 5 years ago. 5/6. And it's easy. I'm able to sort them according to not having responded. It's awesome because I can read all the ones I never read before. And otherwise, otherwise I would have to go through each video and look to see if there were comments. Hello, Ting Tong. What do you mean by Sam Smythe? Hello, Sam Smythe. So it's cloudy today. It was sunny this morning. I sat in the sun trap in the family room and listened to my Zoom. So I'll tell you about I have FMS today. Yesterday, we had the children over and they had tacos and I had some of the unseasoned hamburger. And afterwards, the back of my knee, which had kind of gone out on me, as I was bringing all those buckets up the stairs the other day, the huge stairs down to the teepee, the Teacup Trail teepee, I had been bringing those buckets up and I could only go up. I had to put the buckets down, step up, bring the buckets up, or reach forward and put the buckets down, step up, pick them up, reach them forward. So it was not an easy sailing thing. Both of my knees were very upset about it. And I was grateful that I had been able to lose all that weight. What is it, about 60 pounds? I was let's say an average of 220 to 240, so let's say 230. So I went down, I'm now at 170. I've got to get back in the 60s. But I think I've only gained about 5 pounds, so that's not too bad. But from 2 years ago, I was down into the 150s, but it's really hard for me to get into the 150s. Anyway, so I've just been, you're going to sit there because I'm tired of holding you. So my FMS, I ate the beef, and I find that Bossy the cow is not to be eaten by me. I can eat everything else, I think, some things of animals, but not Bossy. Because something about the beef, it didn't congest me like dairy, like the liquids or cheese or milk products. That all will congest me and give me tinnitus and congestion in the back of my head or in the front. Anyway, but the meat itself, oh my gosh, it just stiffened everything. Everything hurts. Everything that could possibly have hurt in my body lately, it's all hurting at once. And so the back of my knee yesterday was horrendous. I don't think it was a cramp, but it hurt. My whole knee hurt all night, and I had a hard time sleeping. I even had a hard time sleeping because of my body since I got my new hips. Anyway, I don't think it's possible to get new knees these days. Because of COVID, it's shut down everything. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking I could have a news channel. I mean, anybody can have a news channel. I could put up some poster behind me, and I could sit with this poster behind me or a whiteboard. Well, not a whiteboard. But anyway, I could have something behind me. A banner. I could make a Nancy Today's News. NTNN. Nancy Today News Network. And then you could hear all of the news according to Nancy. I will fact check. But you see, I carried those buckets a couple days ago. And the pain from doing it showed up right away. But then after I ate the dairy, which was the day after that, 2 days after that, I think. Yeah, 2 days after that. See, the day after, I was in such pain I couldn't do anything all day. But this is different because this is not the pain from carrying the buckets. This is all knee pain. And also, I don't know, you could imagine it was from the buckets, but I know enough about having eaten beef different times that I was in a lot of pain everywhere. My feet, my legs, my hips, definitely my back, my shoulders, my arms, my hands. I mean, my hands were so stiff I couldn't close them. I mean, they get swollen, and then I couldn't close them because of the swelling. Uh-oh. My bucket that I hung up above the thing, one of the plastic things is broken. And that means it's going to come crashing down. Or it's going to fall and crash. It won't be crashing on the way. But it's going to land on my artichoke plant. So I'm going to have to deal with that, aren't I? So, what do we have to talk about today? Would you like to hear my take on the news? I think I've been saying it lately. You know, it seems to me like the truckers who have come... Why is it so hot? What is with my camera? It's hot because I'm talking to you. It's only 11 minutes. I was thinking perhaps my phone gets so hot and shuts off because I've been on for 3 hours, you know. But now it's hot right now. I don't know. It's not plugged in. I was thinking that plugging it in was overheating it. Perhaps my cord was overheating it. I don't know. Yes, here too. Let me see. A hot topic. Yeah, so I shall tell you about my hot topic. So in Ottawa, and it's kind of neat because this breaking news that's internationally amazing, big news, is happening in Ottawa, which is my big city, the nearest big city. It's tying. There's a few big cities around. But anyway, so the wind is starting to blow. We're going to get snow for a whole week, or it looked like it was going to be 7 days, and now then it was 5 days, and now I don't know. I think it's 3 days and a good day and 1 day or something. I'm not sure how much snow is supposed to come. If it's just like we don't get lake effect, but that was the stuff. Pressed for Truth. Is that the name of a channel? I could go look at that. Let me see. I'll get into this over here. I got my laptop here. Anyway, Pressed, Pressed for Truth. Pressed for Time. No, Pressed for Truth. I find that the truth is one of the hardest things to find now. Do you find that? Like, I trust my sources for truth. Intense clashes with counter-protesters at the Truckers' Freedom Convoy in Vancouver. Hi, Susan. Oh, good. You're awake. I'm glad you're awake. Now, put yourself in a comfortable position with a pillow so if you pass out, you will not fall. So, Press for Truth. I'm just checking what it is. Tensions are brewing politically resulted in massive growth for precious metals portfolios. Financially attacked. Dandick says income wiped out as Patreon cancels the Press for Truth account. Oh, so what are they... Why would Patreon, unless they're doing misinformation? I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go into that one. I don't want to know those things. I think that I can only trust the truth that he showed the protesters against the convoy. Is Vancouver by YouTube? No, Vancouver is all the way on the other side. I am north of Syracuse, and they are north of Washington, D.C. I mean, Washington State. So Vancouver is where you go to take the cruises up to. I'm so glad you've been awake. Oh, good. Yeah, medications can really wipe us out. anyway, I don't want to deal with the misinformation. And I find that if I even were to watch one misinformation video, I get another misinformation video showing up, and it sounds true. It all sounds true. And then something in there is not quite right. And it's really tricky out there these days. Like, Satan is the father of misinformation. He really likes it, that the confusion that's happening on the earth. He loves confusion. But the Lord is not about confusion. The Lord is about truth. But there's a bit of misinformation, even about the Lord, involved in this. The Lord will not keep us from getting COVID. That's part of the plan. The Lord will not keep us from the trials that are out here. He may lessen our burdens, but we only learn from our trials. If we were having a lovely day and beautiful weather and we were all out there playing in the garden and smiling at the neighbors and everything, just fine. After a while, it gets a little boring. I know it doesn't sound like it would, but it does. But when we have all these little bumps in the path, that's when we learn. Like, how did you stay close to the Lord when you weren't able to go to church? How did you stay close to your family when you weren't able to get together with them? All these things help us to grow and appreciate the many gifts we've been given, the internet and the ability to communicate with one another without being there. I mean, this is it was some Native Americans putting their children in front of the convoy. That's interesting, because from what I've heard of the natives, they're quite upset that the convoy is including them, because they're not against getting vaccinated or the mandates. You know, it's the reason we haven't had the flu. People say, well, what happened to the flu? How come we haven't had the flu and nobody's been taking the flu vaccine and all this? Well, if everybody's wearing their masks and social distancing, we aren't going to catch colds. We aren't going to catch the flu, mumps, measles, rubella, polio. I don't know. Everything that's out there that circulates in the air, we aren't going to catch it if we're wearing our masks and staying enough apart. At first, social distancing was 15 feet, and I liked that. And then they cut it down to 6 to make it more appropriate for us all. So I'm not sure how wonderful 6 feet is, but definitely, 6 feet is your fingertips meeting someone else's fingertips on their outstretched arm. One arm fingertips to the other. When your arms are straight out, one tip to the other tip is 6 feet, supposedly, if you're an adult. Oh, I see people. Snowshoeing in the woods. I don't see people snowshoeing in the woods often. Let's see. A snowshoer up there somewhere. Somewhere out. They have to get all the lines ready for tapping. It's almost maple syrup season. So it usually is sometimes end of February, but it's usually mid-March. Yes, we had fun with the paint, didn't we? Let me show you what happened here with the paint. So, we now have, where is it? The paint on the floor. Did I get it up? I'll move my laptop off of my lap. So put it over here. Can't breathe if you wear a mask. That helps against any viruses. That's right. That's right. And so it's not because we're so silly that we've been renaming the flu COVID. It's because we haven't been catching it. So Maya, she likes backgrounds, I hear. So that was the background in the sun, but she used so much paint and it was on a wet background that her sun didn't stay in one place. Whereas, isn't this a great picture? Like, isn't that awesome? This is like childhood. You remember when you used to paint the sun and the green grass and the trees? It used to always be a house with a little walkway. And then this one was mine. I was just playing around. I made some thunderous clouds. And on my tree, I need some dark stuff. But you know what? I don't want to draw this stuff. I want to paint a waterfall. We could do that, if I were to sit up there and do it. But all these clothes will get ruined. She was so adamant that she was not going to ruin her clothes. But we do have paint on my mother's chair now. Part that didn't come off. And also, there was some on here, but I think I got it off. Oh, there it is. It's still a little bit there. And then it's on the floor. Oh, well, it's a lovely floor. We can take it off another time. I have to use a razor for that now. Sometimes I find it's better to leave the paint thick when it spills and let it dry and then take it off with a razor. If you take it off, it always leaves a little edge, a little ridge. So I was going to tell you, you can use a cold hair dryer to dry big tree in colors and layers. Yeah, this is acrylic. I used to use oil. And then it would take days. You had to hang it up for a week. Then you could come back to it. It was really cool to have this easel. Like this easel has been here outside, trying to keep from getting ruined in the weather for years. And now it got used. I just love that. My next one will be a waterfall. Maybe I should ask Maya if I can paint a waterfall on hers. My plant up here has broken one of its things. I better run over there and fix it before it decides to fall. But I want to come back and sit here. I don't want to get busy doing everything else. Oh, the body. This is the chimes, or the whatever it is. Yeah, my lower back is really wrenched. It's really wrenched. It's because I'm feeling it because of that stuff. Hey, what happened? What happened? Why are you weeping? Oh, you're not. You were stuck. Huh. Look at all my other sunflower seeds came up, but these mung beans did not. I hurt terribly. I ate hamburger yesterday. Oh, here we have some more ragweed. That is ragweed, right? And another ragweed. They are not allowed to live in this beautiful land. Another ragweed. And another ragweed. This looks very dry. And another ragweed. It's not something else, is it? Which one's that? Is that lamb's quarters or is that deadly nightshade? That one looks like deadly nightshade, doesn't it? Deadly nightshade and ragweed sort of look similar sometimes. And this is my squash. My favorite kind of squash. Uh-oh, what happened here? What happened? We're lying down. Oh yes, so here we go. This is heavy. There we go. Little spider plant. Spiders everywhere. Oh yeah, this has got these little aphids on it. I guess I better get rid of all the aphids out here before they wreck stuff. Do they wreck stuff? Will they eat my food? Eat my stuff? Bear. What a good day. Won't that chair be hers someday and she will have a memory when she painted with her grandmother? That's a cool idea, yeah. I could do that. I like painting sometimes. And then while I'm away, I'll ride home every... You don't usually paint what's in the very foreground at the beginning. I should have some animals leaping in the water. Not really. It's whatever it is. see something down there by the edge of the pond. These large dark areas. Now see, that's this pond. That pond is the one we're looking at. And it's over on the side of it. But behind that and under that branch. No. Where are my eyes looking? Oh, that's what I'm looking at. See these dark spots over there. I wondered if they were the beaver or something. I don't know. Anyway, these are so brittle. So brittle. So that one is going to be a waterfall. Because I love waterfalls. Did you see Bucky last night? He was here. Here, let's go sit in the other room. Kind of felt bad taking all the little spider bits off of here. But they will grow again, I believe. Now, let's see what the room looks like. Yes, indeed. It's a different place today. Shall I feed the birds? Oops. Sure, why not? We can feed the birds. So this is medium sunflower chips, peanut pieces, shelled peanuts, and whole white millet. See my door I made down there for the teepee? Chickadee-dee-dee-dee. Dee-dee-dee-dee. Dee-dee-dee-dee. There's lots of food in my hand over here. They don't seem to be eating the millet. Dee-dee-dee. Chickadee-dee-dee. I scared him away. Chickadee-dee-dee-dee. Oops, I dropped some. It was nice to work on the teepee yesterday. Too bad it didn't work to show it to you at the time. I have to get my chair situated better. Pull my chair up, except I can do it. Put my legs up, and then I can do it like this. So do aphids wreck plants? Do they do something to them? Chickadee-dee-dee-dee. Dee-dee-dee-dee. He was trying to look over the edge to see what was in my hand. Maybe. Yeah, so let me turn you around. What did you say, Ellen? Aphids usually come in with plants. They do mail me. My daughter says she always cooks her dirt. There. Now I feel at home. Ah, that breeze, it smells so good. I love the fresh air. So I was going to say about what was going on in Ottawa is the truckers. It's amazing what they're up to. One of these trucks, trucks bring everything, and this is sort of like an indication that trucks move everything in the world. They brought with them, one truck came in yesterday into Ottawa and brought a huge hot tub. No, not a hot tub, a sauna, and set it up on Parliament Hill somewhere. Can you imagine bringing a sauna? Like these guys, these truckers, they are just having the party of their lives. You think about it, they know each other from their CB handles. So they're having a wonderful reunion. Um, yes, the males have red and the females don't. Is that what you're talking about the woodpeckers, Ellen? I didn't see any woodpeckers this morning. Yeah, can you believe that? And guess what else they did? In order to get gasoline so that they can keep their trucks running, so that they can blow their horns, which is a really amazing abuse to all the people that live within the area. What a horrible thing. It's like water torture. They have to wear earplugs, but it's very, very loud. Even earplugs will only dull it. Anyway, but so they were trying to bring their gasoline in. So they had one of those big gas tanks that you find in farm people's driveways. So they had one of those with diesel in it, and you'll never guess how they were bringing it in. Oh, the ones that fell on my hand. Were there two different ones? I thought it was a male with the red head. I think it was. I don't remember now if it was just once or more. But it was a little afraid to. Oh, maybe it was two different ones. You're right. Anyway, I was afraid that he was going to peck my hand when he was pecking the peanuts. I got the good stuff in my hand down here. This is all the good stuff. You just got millet up there. So anyway, they're bringing in this container of diesel, and they've got it in a covered wagon being pulled by Clydesdale horses. A beautiful rig up. They're bringing it in, and then they're having this conversation with the police officer about that they should be able to bring it in because it's not a vehicle. No, you're welcome to leave it right here, and you're welcome to use your manpower and carry the containers to your trucks, but it's not passing the barricade. This poor police officer, he was so patient, like the guy was. I'm an expert on legal things, so you need to talk to an expert. And so the person that told you this, are they an expert that we can't come in? And how far away are they? Are they here? Can we talk to them? Yeah, that was in Ottawa. Can you believe it? So if you think about it, like people are saying, the people in the protest are saying that the media is not showing the truth. And so I think the part that is not being portrayed to us so much is through the media is all the love, that's in quotes, not quotes. Yeah. Okay, so all the love. And so if you think about it, all these truckers know each other because of their CB handles. So this is like a reunion with all the people that they've never seen. Yeah, there's a big, huge protest going on in Ottawa. It's funded by $10,000 that has been given by international sources. And GoFundMe has found that the money is not all being used for a nice legal protest. There are all these things like beeping the horn, which is it's against the bylaw, the sound bylaws. Anyway, so the GoFundMe site has shut it down, and it will not release the rest of the money, but it's going to reimburse it. Yeah, and so they've already given out $1 million to them, which is funding them so that they can keep their trucks on all the time. And it is now a career for these truckers to spend until the mandate is over and they're allowed to go back to work. They plan on living there on Parliament Hill in their trucks and blocking all of downtown. But the police finally figured out that they do have some power and that they can put up barricades, and they're using cement barricades. And I don't know if they actually removed any vehicles or stuff from Wellington Street, which is the road that goes right in front of Parliament Hill. But anyway, so they're having this wonderful reunion, and to them, it's a party. They're sharing food. They're having cookouts. They built themselves this little wooden structure that they've used for a kitchen. I think they made. I hope that they did make them take it down, but this is all very illegal. You're not allowed to put stuff like that on public property or on Ottawa parks. So, Ottawa, some places are controlled by the NCC, which is separate from the government. It's a different place, and they're the ones that decide on all the government things. And then the RCMP is in charge of the government of Canada, and but Wellington Street is part of the city of Ottawa. So you've got these different police forces that are not able to really help each other all that much. The RCMP has federal jurisdiction, and then there's the OPP, which is the Ontario Provincial Police, but they don't overlap with the Ottawa City Police. So those are anywhere that's not a city. You get the OPP. So we get the OPP is over us out here. Well, that's one reason, but they're also breaking many rules. But GoFundMe does not fund any illegal stuff. So it's possible that the white supremacy sign was not made by a trucker, but by a white supremacist come along. So that wasn't the problem. The problem is that they are parked illegally. Nobody ever, ever is allowed to park where they're parking. I mean, between 3 and 5, you get these horrendous tickets. And you're allowed to park in certain places on certain streets, but not where they're going. So yeah, the GoFundMe is done, but now they've got another one has popped up, which is being funded. But it's not going to work because there's no way that the federal government, I mean, Justin Trudeau's not going to talk to them because what they want is stupid. They want everybody to be able to give everybody COVID. They want COVID to be able to spread freely so that they can do their jobs. And the whole thing that they were against was that as of the 1st of February or the last of January, they weren't going to be allowed to cross the border without a vaccine. So these Canadian truckers, they go to the U.S., they have to have a vaccine to go to the U.S. and a passport or whatever. They have to prove that they're vaccinated to go to the U.S. And now they have to prove that they're vaccinated to come back into Canada. And so, they're trying to do, you got two governments here to deal with, not just one. Anyway, I don't think that, I think there are two stories going on. And one story is the wonderful party that they're having. And they're all loving each other. It's the mandates. They are against mandates. And meanwhile, the nurses and the medical profession, they have put up demonstrations in front of City Hall, because what they really are wanting to do is to change the mandate. And City Hall is in charge of, well, Ontario is in charge of the Ontario mandates, and the cities have their own. Anyway, so the nurses are protesting that the truckers are blocking the access to them to get to hospitals, and they're blocking access for patients, and they're treating them badly and harassing them. Yeah, right. But it's new to have trucks have to do the vaccine to get back into Canada, because you see, they were always considered essential services. So if you look at it from that point of view, here they are. They've been essential services for the entire length of the pandemic. Therefore, their income has not been cut, while many other people in the world have had their incomes gone and their businesses lost and no food for their children, and millions of things have happened. But the truckers have been completely isolated from this because of their esteemed status of essential services. Now, not all truckers have been bringing food and medical supplies, just a fraction of them, right? The rest of them are bringing all the rest of the crap that everybody wants, that I want, all the crap that we want and we buy. Things like saunas that they drive around in their truck and they can just drop off. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, so the nurses are protesting to City Hall not to let back the mandates because they are so exhausted. We were down nurses before the pandemic. Right, stuff like toilet paper. Okay, well that's one of those essential service items. So now for the first time the truckers are getting a taste of what it's like not to, to be like everybody else. They don't like that. I hear a squirrel jumping along the edge of the wall somewhere. Here, come eat from this hand. Look at how wonderful the food in this hand is. It is so much better than the... Yeah, toilet paper tastes great. Well, I don't know how anybody ever figured out how to put babies in cloth diapers if you have to only have toilet paper. Like, there are other ways. There are all kinds of things that can be done without toilet paper. There's even newspaper. I mean, who wants newspaper? But so that's one little thing about it. And they have powerful trucks. And they feel, I mean, they are sort of the king of the road. They're the king everywhere, right? They can do what they want. If they don't like you on the road, they can just not let you have any room. They can just block you forever. But they're generally not mean people. I mean, they're generally quite nice. But they are used to being, using their might to get what they want. And that's exactly what they've done in Ottawa. And so the illegal parking and the noise bylaw infringements, they're doing this all around the clock. They're saying they're turning it off at midnight or not starting it up until dawn, but they are. There are people that have it on. Anyway, so it's no skin off their teeth if they've got this funding and they can live in their trucks. But so the counter protest, I think, is being harassed, perhaps not so much by the truck drivers, but from the other people that are the anti-vaxxers in the crowd. And the freedom thing, okay, I have freedom. Well, I have freedom I've always said in joke, jestingly, that roads are there to give us an idea of where to drive. But in freedom, I don't have to drive on the road. If I have freedom, I don't have to obey the laws. If I have freedom, I can drive on the left if I want. But freedom in Canada, Canadian society is built not upon pursuit of happiness. What is that called? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Canadians, we are based on peace, order, and good government. The United States is not based on peace, order, and good government. They're based on life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In Canada, it's not as important to pursue your happiness as it is to keep the laws and the peace and have good government. So the government is always in charge of the police and the fire and all those things. It's not a socialist thing. Anyway, those are my thoughts as I ramble on here, waiting for the bird to show up. So what are your thoughts? It's pretty hard to disagree with me because I believe I'm right. And if you want to disagree with me, I will believe you're wrong. Really? You got to see a pilot woodpecker this morning. That's very nice. Now you'll eat it if it's not in my hand. Well, I think that's picky. It's getting warmer out. Look at those trees. You can see the darkness in the trees. Hi, chickadee. Don't come in the window. Hey, Sherry. Wow, I haven't heard from you in years and years and years and years. I like these little birds too. It's hard to argue with somebody that thinks they're right because they aren't going to listen. And I think I fall into that category. Wow, Sherry, I had such a good time when I came to your house and met you and met your son. He must have grown now. Well, how long ago was that? 10 years or so? And you were making these little crosses? Very nice. Or your husband was. That's very nice. You have a great community on here now, Sherry. All the live videos, people can talk to each other. And so there's a whole group of people here now. Really, they're up in Wisconsin. Sherry, where are you? In Illinois or Iowa or Ohio? I forget. Oh, you've moved. Wasn't that great when I came and we sat out in the yard last time? That was my second visit to see you. That was great. Anyway, so that was my take on this. Northeast Ohio. So that's where you were before. Are you still in Northeast Ohio? Yeah, you had a very small house. You must have a bigger place by now. It's great how as we live, we eventually can afford more. Don't come in. Don't want him to just come in the house. Hi, Sammy. Hi, Sammy. I heard you jumping along. Hello. Do you want me to feed you? Do you want me to feed you on my hand too? You won't bite me, right? You won't bite me because we're friends. I saw my deer last night, Bucky, and I saw another deer in the background, which made me think maybe it wasn't Bucky. Maybe indeed it was Softness and Softy, because he had the same white eye ring that they had last time. So now we can put it like this and you can see the birds on my hand and me at the same time. You wouldn't want to miss any of that, would you? So indeed, today is another day, I won't be doing much because of having eaten the meat yesterday has really made my body hurt. But I was very pleasantly surprised to see. Yes, it was. Yes, I used to go, as I said, we used to go, when I go to Georgia, I would take a different route every time. So Sherry was there in Ohio, and I think that it was another Sherry. Oops, low battery. Aw, bless your heart, Sherry. What's your son's name? And tell me what he's up to now. He was a doll. He was Devin or something. He'll bite your finger to the bone if he gets a chance. Yes, I bet he will. I don't usually feed squirrels out of my hand for just that reason. Or chipmunks. Oh, look, there's a goldfinch. Do you realize I had 2 goldfinches on my hand? They were fighting over the food on my hand. I'll have to turn it around or else you won't be able to see it if he comes again. I wonder when he comes again. Oops. Will I be ready there? Oh, Hairy Woodpecker. Oh no, nuthatch. Wow, graduating. I've never had a nuthatch land on me. He ate from my hand from sitting on the thing once. Chickadee dee dee dee. There's a lot of reflections. Oh, look, a car. Oh, I bet they're having fiddle practice up on the top of the hill. They do that on Sundays sometimes. Get a whole crew of cars going up the hill. You would, hey? I love little chickadees. Scaredy cat. I'll have to go back and watch that other video where the hairy woodpecker came on my hand. There, so they won't feel the hot air so much. It's gotten colder since I closed the window. All that nice warm air was keeping my hand warm. They don't usually mind if your hand moves. It's kind of like a tree branch. It was, I have a picture of a hairy woodpecker at the beginning of the video for the photo. But I think I wrote in the notes what part it happened on. 13 minutes or 16 minutes or something like that. I got that fire going in the teepee yesterday again, and it was such a wonderful fire. It lit so easily with that wood that Willem brought me. It was awesome. I make a kind of log cabin affair with stuff in the middle, little stuff in the middle. I don't think it's as much of whether you've got food, all the good food is on your hand, as much as if there's a lot of food there, it's attracting a lot of birds. So you're going to have too many and some are going to go to your hand. That one's a goldfinch there. Oh, he's gone. It's this reflection from that window, you see. Oops. Sorry. Oh, my hand is... Everything I used for too long hurt today. It's a goldfinch. It's just that this camera's not showing it the colors properly. I thought it was neat when one sat on the icicle and landed then. So easy to do. If you have a place where you can open a window and stick just your hand out, it's a great entertainment for winter. Just relax. Why doesn't he stop? The others all do. I hear Sammy. Oh, it's the hairy woodpecker. Looks like I teach Relief Society next week. My lesson is on the greatest possession, which is a talk given by Elder Holland. The greatest possession. I think my greatest possession is my testimony of the power of Jesus Christ and Him in my life. Also a knowledge that I'm Heavenly Father's daughter. I'm of royal birth. We're all royal birth. We have a great future. Look at that road out there. Doesn't it look nice with the sand on it? So it's Harry that's coming along the wall. It sounds like Sammy, doesn't it? He really liked eating the peanuts out of my hand the other day. What's your greatest possession? That's a female hairy. Got a low battery again, so when it dies, I'll just let it die. And then it'll be over, and then you can do this at home. Results may differ. That's the white-breasted nuthatch. That's the frozen suet. I keep it in the container so it doesn't make a big mess and get lost. I wonder if I held a chunk of suet in my hand if the woodpecker would come to it. It's a little goldfinch. I wonder if you can put some kind of a glare-proof thing on the window so it won't reflect the other window. Oh, now we have 2 goldfinches. He touched underneath my hand with his pack. Yes, they are. That's so nice. Say hi to your son. To your son, I say thank you so much for taking care of your mom. Thank you for feeding her and being there, keeping her safe. Can't seem to break it. Oh, you have them, yes. They are a winter staple, aren't they? My fingertips are frozen. Not much happening here now. Mighty cold waiting for him, isn't it? Having this window open sucks all the heat from downstairs out the window. Well, I'm going to stop now. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you next time. I'll come back when I have something to tell you. I have something interesting to say or do. But mostly I think I'm just going to go sit at my little frozen fingers. It's gone. I brought it in. Yes. You're on your own. Bye-bye. I love you guys. Thanks for being there. It's nice to hang out with you. The dump is open this afternoon, so I might go over there and try and make a video for you. Probably try and do that if my camera is full of power. So talk to you later. Bye-bye. That won't be until, so I think on Sundays it's open. Well, let's see. It's 2 to 7 in the winter, and I think it's 12 to 5 in the winter. 2 to 7 in the summer, and 12 to 5 in the winter. So I might go over there. We'll see. And love to all of you that showed up and those that didn't speak. Thank you. Love you guys. Take care. Keep the spirit with you. Do good things. Help other people. Think good thoughts. Feel love. Bye. Pray for truth.